The ferry ride back to the mainland was uneventful, the storm having left behind a calm, glassy sea, but inside my mind was anything but calm. The question loomed like a shadow, growing darker with each passing mile. What do I do for money now? I had savings, but they wouldn't last forever. The thought of job hunting filled me with a familiar dread, the kind that had driven me to quit in the first place. I couldn't go back to the soul-crushing monotony of a cubicle, not after what I'd seen in the pool of echoes. But the practicalities of life were relentless, and bills didn't pay themselves. As I stepped off the ferry, my phone buzzed with a notification. It was an email from an address I didn't recognize. The subject line read, "An opportunity awaits." Curiosity got the better of me, and I opened it. The message was brief, almost cryptic. "You seek purpose. You seek freedom. Come to the address below at sunset. Bring the book." There was no signature, no explanation, just an address in the heart of the city. My first instinct was to delete it, to write it off as spam or some elaborate prank, but something stopped me. The mention of the book, the one with the swirling symbols, sent a shiver down my spine. How could they know about it? I spent the rest of the day in a haze, wandering the city streets as my mind raced. By the time the sun began to dip below the skyline, I had made my decision. I would go. What did I have to lose? The address led me to an unassuming building tucked between a coffee shop and a thrift store. The door was plain, with no sign or markings. I hesitated for a moment, then knocked. The door opened to reveal a man in his late 30s, with sharp features and piercing green eyes. He wore a tailored suit that seemed out of place in the dimly lit hallway. "You came," he said, as if he'd been expecting me. "Who are you?" I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. "Call me Elias," he said, stepping aside to let me in. "And don't worry, I'm not here to waste your time." The interior of the building was a stark contrast to its exterior. The walls were lined with bookshelves, each one filled with volumes that looked as old as time. In the center of the room was a large wooden table, its surface covered in maps, scrolls, and strange artifacts. It felt like stepping into a scene from a fantasy novel. Elias gestured for me to sit. "You're wondering how you'll survive now that you've left your old life behind," he said, cutting straight to the point. "Am I wrong?" I shook my head, too stunned to speak. "Good," he said, "because I have a proposition for you. One that will not only solve your financial problems, but also align with the path you're meant to be on." He reached into a drawer and pulled out a small, ornate box. Inside was a collection of crystals, each one glowing faintly with an inner light. "These are echo crystals," he explained. "They're rare and highly sought after by certain individuals. Your task is simple. Deliver them to their rightful owners." "Why me?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Elias smiled.